Milwaukee County is receiving national recognition for its efforts to be the healthiest county in Wisconsin. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation named the county one of 10 communities in the nation to receive the 2024 Culture of Health Prize, citing an unwavering commitment to creating a future where health is no longer a privilege, but a right. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley is leading the effort to improve health and opportunities for county residents, and he joins us now. Congratulations, and welcome back to Connect MKE.
Well, thank you so much for that. Congratulations, and thank you for having me, Denise. It's so good to be on with you again.
Well, we are always happy to have you here. Tell us a little bit about the significance of this award being recognized by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, which is one of the leading organizations in the nation that's dedicated to improving and transforming the health of all Americans.
Absolutely. And excuse me, we are extremely excited about this recognition. As you and many of our residents know, we are committed to becoming the healthiest county in the state of Wisconsin by achieving equity in all areas. So when I think about this recognition from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, this is the Culture of Health Prize. And honestly, I think this really represents how our partnership-centered approach around delivering results and supporting our residents, our families, and our children around health and wellness is extremely important. So I'm excited that we have, national philanthropic partners, this particular foundation looking towards our efforts. And when I think about this foundation, people may say, well, what is this going to support? And really, this is going to support a lot of the work that we have already been doing, but helping to build capacity. It's going to help us to support our work in our Department of Health and Human Services as it relates to advertising and outreach of our new Marshall P. Cox Health and Human Service Center, but also providing that support for individuals who may be facing homelessness, particularly around the encampments that we have seen around King Park and other surrounding neighborhoods. So this is exciting news for us, and this is going to allow us to continue forward with meeting our vision.
In a county the size of Milwaukee County, there are lots of areas and issues to focus on. Why has your effort been so focused on health and making sure that individuals are healthy? How does that play into the other things that you want to see happen in Milwaukee County?
Thank you for that question. I think a lot of the times you think of health, we just think about the mental and the physical health of our everyday lives. But here at Milwaukee County, we look at health as a much broader concept, much broader term. Health is the mental and the physical well-being of individuals, but we also focus on the social determinants of health. Money in your pocket, having access to employment is health. Being able to have access to a home is health. Having access to public transportation is health. But when we also look at many of the disparities here in Milwaukee County and across this entire state, many of those health disparities fall along racial lines as well. And so it's one of the reasons why we always want to make sure that equity and health are coming together so we can really focus on those things to help eliminate many of these disparities and really put our entire community on a pathway toward being healthy. And so we want people to change that mindset. We want people to focus on their mental and physical health, but also what other ways contribute to our overall well-being as individuals as well as a community.
Do you think there is enough of an understanding in Milwaukee County about those health disparities along racial lines and what kind of difference it really means in people's everyday lives? Just the lifespan of white residents versus African-American residents is significantly different.
Well, it is. I mean, you just hit it right on the head, right? It is significantly different. And I don't think that many people in our community absolutely understand what these disparities look like unless you work in the healthcare field. And so for us, we want to get that information out there. It's one of the reasons why we started focusing on the Healthy County Challenge, as well as building different dashboards, right? Creating opportunities for people to see the data in our own community so they can figure out ways that they can get involved. When it comes down to creating a healthy community, creating healthy individuals, not one organization or person can do that on their own. And I truly believe it's going to take us as a collective in our community to make sure that we're focusing on the neighborhood health. And so we want to continue to focus on these things. We want to continue to get the information out there. But we want folks to know that they can always visit our website and encourage them to connect with their doctors, connect with their teachers, connect with their education leaders to learn more about many of these disparities and how they can get involved. But this is a conversation that we have to continue to have ongoing. We're not going to solve our health disparities in one day, but we can solve it over the course of time.
What are some of the community collaboratives that you're most excited about when it comes to really changing the face of health and promoting wellness in Milwaukee County?
Well, one of those things is our Healthy County Challenge. And back in 2022, we launched the Healthy County Challenge. And this was a way, after the pandemic to really get our community outdoors, right? Try to socialize, get folks into our parks, our trails, all of our park amenities that we have within county government to really foster a great sense of physical and in mental health. And now that we are in our fourth year, we have great collaboration with folks like Milwaukee Parks Foundation, other philanthropic partners as well, and community partners who are helping to get people off their couches and actually into the parks and things of that nature. And so one thing about this Healthy County Challenge is that we're always doing something different. So just last week, I had a chance to go to Kosciuszko Park, and we were going to do a 1.5 mile run, but unfortunately, we pretty much got rained out. So we took our activities indoors. We did a pacer test, and I quickly learned that I got to get back out there and make sure that I'm focusing on my own health because I didn't pace myself quite right. But it was a great opportunity to build relationships, work with an organization called Buena Tierra, which is a run club that goes to Kosciuszko during the summer to really focus on their mental and physical health, but also introducing people to what it means to really run and focus on their own health. And so the partnerships that we have created has been phenomenal. We've worked with groups like the American Heart Association to bring awareness around heart disease, as well as others. And so I'm really excited about the levels of partners that we have created because more and more people are coming to the table, more partners are coming to the table, realizing that as long as we can continue to team up and host these types of events, we can build closer community, but also focus on the well-being of our entire community.
And that building of community, people connecting with each other, that is something that's so important. Is something else that you have really talked about in the health area and that you've made great strides towards in Milwaukee County. And that is our mental health, making sure that there are behavioral health resources available for folks.
Absolutely. We have to focus on our mental health. A couple of years ago, we had the opportunity to shut down our behavioral health clinics. Behavioral health, I believe it's the clinic that was out in Wauwatosa. We brought that to 13th and Valete, and that's right behind the Marshall P. Cox Health and Human Service Center. And the reason why we did that is because 70% of the individuals that we were seeing lived in or around that particular zip code or neighborhood. And so having access to mental health is extremely critical if we want to have a healthy community. For far too long, we haven't really brought this as an issue. I remember growing up in my own household and we just called it a mental health breakdown, a mental breakdown. And, that person will become okay. And, just give them some time. Well, now, we have a lot more information. We've been educated on the fact that people need greater help and they need access, not just to therapy and therapists and things of that nature, but culturally competent type of activities when it comes down to their own mental health. And so it's not just about, focusing on the physical aspect. We have to focus on the mental, but this also gives us an opportunity to focus on things like drug addiction, which is also a huge issue that we have been seeing in our entire community. And so as we continue to talk about mental health, I just want folks to know that they can always come down to our mental health emergency center, again, located right off of 12th and Valete, 13th and Valete, to find different levels of services. But again, these are conversations that we need to have as a community because we have to break the stigma around mental health. We have to break the stigma around substance use as well and really make sure that as people get on that road to recovery and focus on their mental health, that we normalize it as much as possible because this is how we're going to become a healthier community.
And obviously, with the award from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, those efforts are being recognized as beginning to work for people in Milwaukee County. Thank you so much, County Executive. We appreciate you being here.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
And if you want more information on the Healthy County Challenge, where you can get out there and see what you can do with the county executive, please visit the county's website at county.milwaukee.gov/HCC 2025. We're right back.